Okay, so Christmas movie tiered ranked list. This is how it's gonna go. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about which Christmas movie is the best, which is the worst, and what you might enjoy. Now, you won't see everything on this list, okay? Because this list is gonna be family movies, so there's some Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, something like that that we don't necessarily want our teenagers watching. So we are going to ignore those, and these are more family type movies that are gonna be around having a good time. So Takoa, welcome in. Let me know, Takoa, what your favorite Christmas movie is of all time, sir, as we get ready to do this tiered ranked list. So as you can see, the movies that we have are It's a Wonderful Life, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Gremlins, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Miracle on 34th Street, The Star, A Christmas Story, Home Alone, Elf, Ernest Saves Christmas, Noel, Polar Express, Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Mickey's A Christmas Carol. What is this one? Muppets Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the real version, and then the Santa Claus. And then I'll explain this one here in a minute. All right. So where should we start? Y'all tell me first up. Where should we start? What movie are we going to start with? That is going to be the question. What do you guys think is the best movie to start with? Okay, so they all say that Elf is the best. Santa Claus, okay, Home Alone, Elf. Tyler just wants to jump straight into Elf and see where we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the Santa Claus. All right, now, if you don't know this movie, all right, how many of y'all have seen this movie before? Santa Claus. This movie is with Tim Allen and came out in the 90s, I think, but here's the deal. Santa Claus, the story, the premise of the story, I'm not going to give it all away, all right? But the premise of the story is this guy, Tim Allen, his character, kills Santa, all right? Now, you might think, John, you just spoiled the entire movie, but I didn't, because that happens in the first few minutes of the movie. Santa Claus dies. I'm going to be honest, right? You can't, what a storyline to come back from than that. Santa Claus dies. So, with that said, I am going to put the Santa Claus as an A tier movie. This movie is fantastic. It's a ton of fun. It's just enjoyable all the way around. It is enjoyable. Santa Claus with an E is an A tier. If you have not seen the Santa Claus, make sure you go watch it. Remember, the other movies are good, but not as good. But the Santa Claus is, the first one is absolutely fantastic. A tier without question, all right? Okay, let's go to something a little bit different, all right? So we got Santa Claus. Let's go to a more animated one. Okay, you got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, all right? Both animated, both stories, both classics, are on constantly throughout Christmas. Every kid in the world, I would assume, at some point has watched one of these two movies, if not both. Here's the deal, all right? There's a simple thing that separates them for me, is that Frosty is kind of an idiot, all right? He's just not the brightest person in the world, all right? As a snowman, I feel like he could be a little bit more top-notch, but every time he wakes up, he just says happy birthday. Like, that's all he's got to say. And so I am going to put Frosty at a C tier, and Rudolph, man, the storyline, the dangers that Rudolph encounters, it's just solid all the way around. I'm going to go with a solid B tier for Rudolph. Now, if you have, there are a couple movies on here that are not very good. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's go to some old movies, all right? Some like real life old movies. It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. I'm trying to see if there's any more on here. And that I would say this, all right? Miracle on 34th Street, the 90s version, all right? There's like a 1947 version. I'm not about that, all right? The 90s version is solid, all right? A little slow at times, a little sappy at times, but it's solid through and through. So, Miracle on 34th, I'm going to go with we're going to go with a lower B tier, a B minus maybe. It's a Wonderful Life to me is maybe one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's awful. And so I don't want to watch it. I have no desire to watch it. I have no desire to sit through it. I would rather do anything else other than watch It's a Wonderful Life. So that one for me is under the terrible status that I would not in any way, shape, or form watch that if I could keep from it, because it's just not, I just don't enjoy it. It's like a super classic movie, but don't enjoy it. All right, so we've got a weird one on this list. All right, there are two of these on this list. We've got Gremlins and Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Here's the deal, okay? I can remember Gremlins came out in the 80s. All right, I was born in the 80s, but Gremlins came out in the 80s, and I don't remember much about this movie. All I remember, though, is being absolutely terrified to go to sleep, right? Number one, I remember being terrified to go to sleep. And number two, I remember the nightmares of these things chasing me at night. And so I haven't watched it since. I don't even know if it's that scary, all right? But I know that as a kid, when I saw this movie, I never wanted to experience Christmas again for a while because it was that bad. So I'm going to put Gremlins down here at a C tier because it's a little terrifying. Now, you know what? No, it's got to go down there. It's got to go there. No, I don't know. You know what? It did have, it's not, here's the deal. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Christmas is not about nightmares, all right? Christmas is not about nightmares. It's not about scary things. It's not about gory things. It's about love and joy and family and Jesus and Santa and presents and all the good things in life. It is not about nightmares. So for that reason, I'm definitely going to drop Nightmare Before Christmas. And plus, I'll be real honest, Tim Burton just kind of creeps me out with his movies, all right? Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas, whatever the other animated nightmare one was, or the whatever that other Tim Burton was, not it. All right, I don't like them. They're weird to me. They're gross. I just I don't do well with those movies at all. So, another random one that's kind of on this list is Ernest Saves Christmas. If you've never seen any of these movies, these are literally the dumbest movies around. All right, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Camp. This was like a whole series. I don't know how many movies Ernest made, the guy who plays Ernest, but it's at least 5 too many. All right, and whatever it is, it was a hit. It was quite a thing. Ernest is just a goober, and he saves Christmas somehow. So I'm gonna put it on a C tier. I would definitely not watch it. I'd probably actually watch Gremlins over that just to see if Gremlins was scary or if I was a wuss as a kid. So we got plenty of animated movies here. Let's see. So, A Mickey's Christmas Carol. Now, here's the deal. How many of you have ever seen A Mickey's Christmas Carol? Okay. So there's 3 movies in this one movie. There's Mickey, and then there's, I think, a version or an episode or whatever, a mini movie with like Pluto in there. Not Pluto, Goofy. But the reason that I picked this one is for the Scrooge one, all right? Because there's a Scrooge version of this where the boys, the kids have learned about, gift giving and all that sort of stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, I watched it last year and it's pretty solid, all right? I'm gonna give it a B minus as a part of that. I would definitely watch that if it's around. It wouldn't be my top choice, but I would definitely watch it as it's around. So we got 2 movies over here that are a little bit different, a little bit interesting. All right. We've got the movie Noel, which is a Disney movie. And then we've got this odd one, which is just any Hallmark movie that has ever been created. right? Any Hallmark movie that's ever been created. Here's the deal. We watched Noelle. I think it came out last year, the year before, 2019. We watched it, and in a moment of honesty, this movie's pretty good. All right, I gotta be honest. The movie's pretty darn good, and so Noelle's jumping up there. I wouldn't always maybe admit that out loud, but in this moment right here, I'm gonna tell you, Noelle's solid. All right, so if you have Disney Plus and you want to watch a good movie this Christmas, go watch Noelle. Tell me it's not good, and I'll tell you you're a liar. All right, now Hallmark. Here's the deal. If my wife happens to be watching this stream, then here's what I would say: that any Hallmark movie is down here in the terrible category. All right, it's just the case. But now that she's gone and that she's moved on with her life, not left me, but just like moved on and going to watch her Hallmark movie. What I would actually tell you is that Hallmark movies, that when they're on our TV, I get distracted from whatever I'm doing by watching these dumb movies. I can't help it. All right. They're not good, but they're not bad either. And I don't know what that says about me as a man or as a human, but they know what they're doing. And I get slightly intrigued. The next thing I know is 30 minutes later, and I'm still on the Hallmark movie, wondering what's going to happen with the same storyline that happens 14 times every Christmas, because they have so many movies and they're all pretty much the same storyline. They're just good enough, though. And so I'm going to put Hallmark in there as a solid B tier. All right, a couple more. Run through these pretty quick. A Christmas Story, one of those weird ones that kind of creeped me out as a kid. I could remember very specific things about it. I could remember the tongue getting stuck to the pole, from the kid, and the tongue getting stuck to the pole. I can remember his mouth getting washed out. I can remember the BB gun. I can remember the tongue getting stuck to the pole because my tongue got stuck to an ice cream cone when I was in elementary school back in Sherman, Texas, and the lunch ladies had to come pour warm water on my tongue to get it unstuck from the ice cream because, life's tough sometimes. So I want to go Christmas Story right here as a solid B in the B area. So a Charlie Brown Christmas. All right. There's something about old movies that I just don't enjoy that much. Maybe I'm too ADD. Maybe I'm not, cool and vintage enough. I don't know, but they're just slow for me. And Charlie Brown and his weak little tree and his dog that's just kind of creepy. Like, I don't, I'm okay. I'm okay not watching it. So Charlie Brown is going to go below Gremlins for me as a part of this. Now, the Grinch, here's the deal. There are two Grinches, okay? And this is difficult. And the reason I put two of them on there is because there's an animated version and there's a real life version, all right? And I struggle. And even in this point right now, I'm struggling because I don't know where I want to put which one. Which one do I actually like better? Because they're both fantastic. All right. They're both fantastic. They're both solid tiers. I will tell you this. If I'm going to go with my gut right here, right now, not think about it, not do anything else with it, I'm putting the animated How a Grinch Stole Christmas in the A tier. It's a very solid movie, and the real life version I'm gonna put up and watch every Christmas. I could. There's something about Jim. This is like Jim Carrey's perfect role right here. All right, How a Grinch Stole Christmas, the real life version, that is better than the animated version to me. And it's not always the case, but in this instance, better than the animated version. Wonderful movie. Make sure you go watch it this year because that is one that we will watch in my house every stinking year. All right. Muppets, absolutely terrible. Terrible. Who likes the Muppets? Who still watches the Muppets? Nobody. That's an absolutely awful movie. It's going down there, slightly above A Wonderful Life because nothing is as bad as that, but slightly above there. Okay. It's just not good. All right. Ooh, some classics, some big ones. All right, I gotta say, when we asked about the voting earlier about what the favorite movie was, Elf was on there, and that seemed to be a lot of people's favorite movie. It came out in 2003. I have watched Elf maybe 20 times in the last almost 20 years, maybe 25, 30 times. I don't know. I got kids. We watch movies a lot in my house. So here's the deal with Elf, all right? I like the movie, okay? I like the movie. It's a solid movie. But do I get excited to watch Elf every year? I don't. And it's not a movie I'm going to turn off. It's a movie I'm going to laugh at. It's a movie I can quote. But I'm not going to get the popcorn ready, excited to watch Elf every year. And so I'm actually going to put Elf as an upper B tier movie. All right. It's good. It's right on that borderline of an A- and a B+. It's right there for me. It's very solid, very good movie, but I'm just not going to get excited about Elf. All right. Now, Polar Express. That's a classic work of art right there. All right. Classic work of art. Polar Express. I absolutely love this movie. I don't know why. I don't totally get it, but I love the Polar Express. All right. For what the graphics, the story, whatever it is, this movie is fantastic to me. And so Polar Express, we don't always get to watch it. I'm not sure anybody else in my family loves it as much, but that is a movie I could watch every Christmas and be excited about because I just love the Polar Express. And I'm clearly upsetting some people still with Elf. I apologize, Tyler, and Michaela and Paige. I really do. But Polar Express, that right there is a good movie. It really is. Okay, The Star in Home Alone. Here's if you've never seen The Star, it's a story, obviously pretend because animals talk, but about the birth of Jesus. You know, I actually really like this movie. Let's say I like this movie. All right. Now, I can't in good conscience put it, or can I in good conscience put it above Elf? Maybe it's because I've just seen Elf so much, but I've got to say, The Star with the music, Pentatonics is in there. They just got some really good music. I'm gonna put it as a solid A movie. The Star, really, really good. Paige, I just disagree with you. All right, you're wrong. That's all I can say. Okay, last one. Home Alone. This movie came out when I was a kid, and this movie was just, obviously a huge deal. Came out 1990, and this movie made every kid wish that they got left home on Christmas. And that is what my dream always was to be left home on Christmas, to take out some robbers, to meet a weird old man, and to just enjoy life, right? Alone, put on shaving cream or aftershave and just enjoy life. And so Home Alone, of all of these movies here, may be my top movie that I would sit down and watch every Christmas because it is fantastic. It is wonderful. And it's great. It's great. It really is. All right. And you know what? As I'm looking at this, I see a mistake. All right. I feel like if I was to change any of these from where they are up, that I feel like the movie that I have to move up is the Santa Claus to a watch every Christmas, because that's just a good one. And there's something about it's just such a unique story. I mean, Santa dies, right? I mean, what? Again, I'm not ruining anything. It's in like the first 5 minutes of the movie, but Santa dies. What a good movie. What an interesting storyline. Oh, man. So that's my ranking. As you can see from the chat, we got some upset people that I'm the mistake, that are upset because Elf is a B tier, and it is. Again, it's probably an A tier movie, but I've seen it so many times, I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to, and so gonna drop it down a few notches. People give reports, reviews on Amazon that sometimes just feel personal, and for me, this is a personal feeling with Elf. All right, and so whether you like it, whether you love it, whether you agree, thank you, or you disagree, I'm so sorry. Then that is our ranking